Please email me at celzoacademy@gmail.com if you're interested to receive copies of the LET and Civil Service exam reviewers. This includes mock tests, including hundreds of questions of different topics. These are all free of charge, and I am here to support future teachers and future professionals. Again, these are all free math reviewers. Question number 21. A retailer buys candies for 67 pesos and 25 cents. The pack has 35 pieces of candies. If she sells each candy for 2 pesos and 25 cents, how much profit does she make? So how do you intend to solve this type of problem? First, we know that there's 35 pieces of candies, and she sells them for 2 pesos and 25 cents. So to find the total sales, we need to multiply 2.25 by 35 pieces. So 5 times 5 is 25, carry 2. 5 times 2, 10, plus 2, 12, carry 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Now we need to multiply by 3. 3 times 5, 15. Carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 2 is 6. So we have 5, 7, 8, 78. That means the sales is 78.75. And to calculate for the profit, that means we need to subtract the sales minus the expenses, which is she bought them for 67.25. So we need to subtract 78.75 minus 67.25 to find the profit. So this is 0, 5, 1, 11. So that means that she earned 11 pesos and 50 cents, which is letter A. Question number 22. An online shop sells a certain calculator for 950 pesos and charges 150 pesos for shipping within Manila, regardless of the number of calculators ordered. Which of the following shows the total cost of an order as a function of the number of calculators ordered X? So to find the total costs, using the variable y, we need to have y is equal to, we don't know how many calculators ordered, so that's why we're going to be using the x variable. And how much is each calculator? 950, right? So we need to multiply 950, that's the price, by the quantity or the number of calculators ordered. And what else is important here? The shipping fee, right? Which is 150 pesos for any number of calculators ordered. So the answer is letter D. Again, you need to multiply the costs by the number of calculators ordered, and then there is an initial fee, which is called the shipping fee, of 150 pesos. In Algebra 1, we call this the slope-intercept form, y is equal to mx plus b, wherein m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And we will explain this more in our next questions. Question number 23. One side of a 45-45-90 triangle measures x centimeters. What is the length of the hypotenuse? So here we have a right triangle and the two sides are congruent because we have a 45-45-90 triangle. So if this is a 45-45-90 triangle, that means you have a 90-degree angle, you have 45 degrees, you have 45 degrees. It's asking for the length of the hypotenuse. And the measurement of one side is x. Now, in a 45-45-90 triangle theorem, we know that the legs are the same, so that means this will also be x. And to calculate for the hypotenuse, you're simply multiplying the leg by square root of 2. Again, in a 45-45-90 triangle, the hypotenuse is square root of 2 times the leg. So that means the hypotenuse is x times root 2, which is letter D. It is really important that you memorize this 45-45-90 triangle so that you can easily solve for the missing sides of this special triangle instead of doing the Pythagorean theorem all the time. Okay? Question number 24. The legs of one right triangle are 9 and 12, while those of another right triangle are 12 and 16. How much longer is the perimeter of the larger triangle than the perimeter of the smaller triangle? In our previous video, we learned about Pythagorean triple. The basic Pythagorean triple is 3, 4, and 5. And these are the sides of a right triangle, and the hypotenuse here is the largest number, which is 5. So, the given problem says that one triangle has legs 9 and 12. So, if the legs are 9 and 12, what do you think is the hypotenuse of that triangle? From the basic Pythagorean triple 3, 4, 5, what will you multiply to that to get these legs 9 and 12? Times 3, right? So 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 3 is 12. That means that the hypotenuse is 15. And calculating for the perimeter is simply adding the 9, 12, and 15, and that will be 36. The second triangle has legs 12 and 16. Again, based on the 3, 4, 5, we need to multiply this by 4 to get 12. 4 times 4, we get 16. That means the hypotenuse should be 5 times 4, which is 20. And if you add the sides of this triangle, the perimeter will be 48. And the question is asking you, how much longer is the perimeter of the larger compared to the smaller triangle? So we're simply subtracting these two. So that means the difference is 12. So the answer is letter C. Question number 25. Determine the midpoint of the line segment joining the points 7, -3 and -1, 6. So this problem is asking to calculate for the midpoint. And to calculate for the midpoint, we need to first get the average of the x values. So the x values are 7 and -1 divided by 2. Average means you need to add 7 and -1, and then you're dividing by 2. That will be the x-coordinate of your midpoint. For the y value, we also need to add -3 plus 6 and then divide by 2. So the midpoint in simplest form will be 7 plus negative 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2, which is of course 3. For the second, negative 3 plus 6 divided by 2. So that is 3 over 2. That means the midpoint is 3 over 2, which is letter C. Again, to calculate for the midpoint, you're simply adding the two x values and then divide by 2. That's your x coordinate. And then do the same thing with the y coordinates. You add the two y values and then divide by 2. Here are the answers. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel at Celzo Academy.